If you're excited about cryptocurrency and the blockchain, you're going to be excited about this. It's the Sirin Labs Finney. So why is it going to be special to you? It's because of this. A pop-up cold storage wallet to keep all your cryptocurrency secure on your phone. Let's take a closer look. The cold storage wallet is the reason you will buy the Finney phone. So how does it work? Well, it comes with a wallet app installed on the phone, which is ready to store, send and receive cryptocurrency. We've got a small amount of Bitcoin stored inside here, which was purchased from a supplier of Bitcoin online. There's no ability to do that in the phone itself, but this stores it as if it would a normal wallet for regular currency, and you can send it to other people, send it to merchants, and you can receive it too from cryptocurrency exchanges. All of this is facilitated by the cold storage wallet that lives on top of the phone. This is really the special part. It's entirely disconnected from the internet, and that means it's secure. The idea being, if it was connected to the internet all of the time, it would be much easier to be hacked and for your currency to be stolen. Obviously, if you've got substantial amounts or any amount really, you're not going to want this to happen. This, as it's warming up here, is a small OLED screen. You can see it's super bright on the video here. And you use this to enter passwords and confirm amounts. Once it's finished warming up, you'll be able to see a little bit clearly what it can do. Let's say you're going to receive some cryptocurrency. You tap the receive button. You can enter an amount if you want to, but we're not going to here because it's just for demonstration. And then it tells you to open up the cold storage wallet. You do that, it warms up for a second, and now comes the bit where is unique to this particular device. This is a touchscreen, and you enter in your personal password for your wallet. You can see that I'm doing that using these arrows at the side here. It is quite fiddly, it is quite long-winded, particularly if you've got a long password. And the idea, of course, being you want a long password. It's supposed to be really secure. Once you've got used to it, it doesn't take that long, but because it's individually set out on here, you have different cases, upper and lowercase, plus numbers, plus symbols. So if your password is 20 or 30 characters, it takes some time. There's no option to use the phone's keyboard. You have to use the storage wallet up here. So that's how you would receive cryptocurrency. Very simple, just a bit long-winded. The sending process is very similar, only it uses a QR code that you would scan from somebody else's device or from a point of purchase in a store that accepts cryptocurrency. The setup process of this, although it all looks very simple there, was quite long-winded, particularly if you're new to the world of cryptocurrency. Don't expect to buy the Finney and suddenly be able to use, buy, store, do everything you can imagine with cryptocurrency, because it isn't quite as easy as that. It's actually nothing to do with the Finney phone and everything to do with cryptocurrency and the way it works at the moment. If you're not familiar, don't expect this phone to demystify it. What else can the Finney do that's related to cryptocurrency? Well, it has this, which is the Decenter. Now this is an app store basically for decentralized apps. And these are all apps which are specific to the blockchain and specific to using cryptocurrency. At the moment, there are about 15 or 16 different apps which are available inside the store. You can see them there. They're all related to cryptocurrency in some way. Most of them are games, but not really that much fun. So if you really want games, kind of just want to go to the Google Play Store. Everything on here is about earning tokens. And these tokens, in theory, we presume will be worth more in the future, which is why you'd want to play these games right now. We don't really think they're much fun, but if you're a speculator or a Bitcoin fan or a cryptocurrency fan, I'm sure there's plenty to enjoy. But for the regular person, newcomer, probably not that much. The other interesting thing with the App Store is something called Learn and Earn. Now, the idea here is to watch and understand Bitcoin and cryptocurrency related videos and learn about the way these things work. And when you've watched these incentivized videos, you get cryptocurrency in exchange for your time. And the idea is eventually that Sirin Labs expects this to offset the price of the phone. At launch, we've had 2 different apps which have given us some cryptocurrency. The only problem is it just sits in the wallet without really much explanation. This isn't Bitcoin, it's different types. So again, if you're a newcomer, it's all a bit confusing. What are the other benefits of owning a blockchain and cryptocurrency phone? Well, this runs Sirin OS, which is Sirin Labs' version of Android, based on Android 8 here. And if you know anything about Sirin Labs as a company, they started off making a super secure, high-end luxury smartphone, which was incredibly expensive, but incredibly secure. And it was bought by high-flying business people and people who wanted their calls and all of their transactions, everything they did on their phone, to be unhackable. So the company has real form when it comes to high security smartphones, and it's built that into the Finney. So you're getting a device that's not only secure for everything that you do, but also for your cryptocurrency. And that's a very key point. You're not going to just buy this phone and next week somebody can hack it. The idea is that this will stay secure, and it does that through the use of Sirin OS. Sirin OS, as you can see from the main screen here, looks pretty much identical to regular Android, and it does. It operates in basically the same fashion, which we really like. There's also very little visual overhaul. There's not much of a skin over the top. There's only a very small selection of pre-installed apps. So you're getting a phone that still feels like regular Android, but has considerably more security, essential if you're going to be using this as a wallet. That's enough about the cryptocurrency stuff for a minute. What about the phone itself? After all, this costs $1,000, and that's a lot of money for any phone, regardless of its special abilities. So as a smartphone, it's actually very attractive. You can see the shape of the body is quite unusual, despite being essentially still an oblong. These rounded off bottom edge here and the top edge too, it looks really great. This is a lovely chamfered edge too. Actually feels wonderful in the hand. However, this is quite a slippery smartphone. You're definitely going to have to be quite careful with this. On the back, you've got the cold storage wallet at the top here, and that's had an impact on the design of the back. This is the fingerprint sensor below the camera lens, and it's quite low down on the device. You can see here where I'm touching that, my hand is right at the bottom of the phone. Now, I've found many times that I'm just tapping the camera lens, hoping that I'm going to unlock my phone, which obviously isn't great because A, it's not going to unlock the phone, B, of course, my camera lens gets covered in my fingerprints. The build quality of the phone is very good. It feels premium. This is a lovely curved piece of glass over the front. However, you're going to spot the presence of a notch. Now, if you think that has some ability, sadly, you are wrong. It holds the selfie camera and the speaker, which is pretty unusual. There's no face unlock. There's no fancy 3D camera in there. It's a notch for a notch's sake. And we're not really very pleased about that because it's not a design aspect we want to see on many smartphones unless there's an actual purpose. Whether the purpose is because of this cold storage wallet at the back, we don't know. It may be so. However, there are other smartphones with pop-up parts at the top which don't have to have a notch, because as you'll see, there's still rather a large bezel at the top and a large bezel at the bottom. So if you're not a fan of the notch, this one serves no purpose and you're probably not going to be pleased about that. The camera on the back has a single lens. It's 12 megapixels. It takes good photos, but it doesn't have any features. So don't expect this to be taking blurry portrait shots or to take a special night mode or do anything other than a single camera lens does. Creatively, not that exciting. How about some other things that we like? We do like these contoured ports for the speaker at the bottom here. They look really smart. And like we say, the overall design is great, but there is a bit of a problem with the cold storage wallet at the top. You can see here it wobbles around really quite disturbingly, and if you put a lot of pressure on this, that's going to break, and we're not very pleased about that. You can even feel it slightly popping. Now, whether this is an early example and that's not going to affect them all, we don't know, but at the moment we are a little bit concerned. If you're a clumsy person or have an accident, this may break off if it's open. However, that said, you're not supposed to have it open all of the time, so chances are it's going to be closed until you absolutely need it. How about the rest of the specs? Well, this is a 6-inch screen with a 2180 by 1080 pixel resolution. There's a 3280 milliamp hour battery inside. We're getting about a day's worth of use out of that, but if we use it hard, it does struggle to last that long. The phone has a Snapdragon 845 processor inside, so that's 2018's flagship Qualcomm processor, a little bit out of date. It has 6 gigabytes of RAM and this rather smart design. The cost, this is $1,000, and you can purchase it directly through Sirin Labs, and soon it will become available on Amazon's Launchpad. For $1,000, you're going to have to be very much part of the cryptocurrency community to get value from this phone. It's a decent smartphone, but because there's no other standout features apart from the cold wallet at the top, if you're not really that bothered about cryptocurrency or just want to experiment, there's not that much here, and it's quite complicated if you just want to experiment. There's other ways to do that apart from buying $1,000 worth of smartphone, particularly when there's other smartphones that cost that or less that do more, that's useful to people on an everyday basis. So do think seriously about why you would want to buy the Finney phone. If you have a cryptocurrency wallet stuffed with bitcoins and you speculate on a daily basis and you live and breathe the blockchain, fine. You probably get some good value out of the Finney phone. You certainly won't be disappointed with the device. However, if you're just interested in experimenting or learning more, or think that cryptocurrency is the future and you want to be a super early adopter, it's probably not the right way to go about that. There are other ways to learn about blockchain and other ways to learn about cryptocurrency without buying a smartphone that, to be honest, probably doesn't do much else that you're going to want to do on a daily basis. It's much better to spend $1,000 on a Pixel 3 or an iPhone XS or anything else that's designed for every person on an everyday basis. Is this the future? Very possibly, but it's a future we're not quite sure everybody's ready for just yet.